Good day, everyone. We are the Group 5. Our topic for today is basic principles of graphics and layouts proportion. So, guys, what is proportion? Proportion is one of the easier design principles to understand. Simply put, it's the size of elements in relation to one another. Proportion Proportion signals what's important in a design and what isn't. Large elements are more important, smaller elements less.
The image shown here is an example of good proportion and bad proportion. When we say good proportion, the visual elements create a sense of unity where they relate well with one another. When we say bad proportion, the division to unequal creates a lack of harmony. When it is equal, division creates a monotony.
What is good proportion? You can say that something is in a good proportion if the various elements of the composition appears as if they belong together in size and distribution, or they are in harmony.
The effective use of proportion in design is often referred to as harmony, a relationship in which of the various elements of the composition appear as if they belong together in size and distribution. For example, if one figure is made to look larger compared to other figures in a composition, it is said to be out of proportion and is given greater importance.
How to achieve good proportion? 1. Place together elements which are similar in character or have some feature in common. 2. Create major and minor areas in design since equal parts can be quickly become monotonous and boring. However, the difference in size must not be so great as to make the parts appear unrelated and therefore out of harmony with each other. 3. Arrangement of space should be in such a way that the eye does not perceive a standard mathematical relationship. Dividing up composition in halves, quarter, and thirds should be avoided. A subtle relationship creates a more dynamic design. 4. Create harmony in the composition. Harmony is an agreement between the shapes that stress the similarities of all parts. In other words, the shape of one part should fit in the shape of adjoining elements. Shapes should fit properly in their position and spaces.
The bad proportion is if two objects that are being balanced or unequal with each other, they could be considered as bad proportion. If they are supposed to be symmetrical but proportion is unequal, then it will be defined as bad proportion.
For example, if a person has a head larger than their entire body, then we would say that they were out of proportion.
Why is proportion important? Proportion is largely about the relationship of the size of one element when compared to another. When drawing or painting realistically, proportion is important. If the proportions are incorrect, then the resulting image will look less realistic or abstracted. Alternatively, artists can use proportion for effect. Good proportion adds harmony and symmetry or balance among the parts of a design as a whole. The importance of proportion in art can play a critical role in whether or not your drawings look realistic. It is important whether an artwork style is abstract or completely non-objective.
And that is all for our presentation and basic principle of graphics and layouts in proportion.